Welcome back to the Control Pod.
Hello guys, how are you going today?
Change of scenery today. We've rearranged our whole entire lounge room thanks to the help of Ruben and Isaac, who's behind the camera. Welcome to the Control Pod. As you can probably see from the camera angle, we have... I don't want the sound effects. I want the sound effects.
Yeah.
We have Ruben. Sorry, I
Didn't
didn't even
we have-
introduce.
We have
Ruben,
No
this
name.
is your time to shine. Tell us a bit about you. Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, so I am a photographer. I started off as a photographer, and then I did that for a while. Started doing street photography, like just around Melbourne, just because I liked it. Just went around in the streets and just shot whatever I wanted. And then I joined an agency a bit later on, where I did some commercial work and whatnot. I did, that engagement parties, birthdays, that sort of stuff. We can get into that a bit later as well, but it kind of drained me creatively after that. And so then I just mixed into a bit of photo and video, and I had year 12, obviously. So it was very difficult for me to sort of pursue a lot of stuff during that period.
Yeah.
And then after school ended, I went traveling for a little bit, and then I came back to Melbourne, and I was like, I don't want to go to uni straight away. Obviously, like, my parents were kind of wanting me to go. But I felt like I wanted to give my passion a proper go. And like, I had a lot of confidence in myself to do it. And so in mid-January, I launched my business, Creative Fin, which is a video production agency. Thank you.
That always
Nice.
excites us. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, been doing content creation as well on the side. Well, on the side, like, it's kind of like half content, half like business stuff. But yeah, I've been doing it for like near like a year and a half now, something like that, pretty consistently. And yeah, just doing a bit of YouTube as well, trying to sort that out. It's difficult, but yeah, doing a bit of everything now, and we're here now. Yeah.
Love it. Ruben and I connected through Instagram. I was doing the 100 Days in Pursuit, and I think I don't know which day it was. It was pretty...
It was one of the, I think it was like one of the much earlier ones, which popped up on my feed, and I was like,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love how the algorithm can put people together like that. And Ruben reached out. I was like, yeah, like I'm sort of feeling that creative, almost like isolation or loneliness, where you know, you're sort of getting into the swing of things and starting these pursuits and endeavors. And I think my background in the commerce scene, not many people were really doing the thing that I was doing. Maybe they were not even launching businesses. I don't think I knew many people in the commerce scene. I feel like everyone had their eyes towards like Big Four banking, Big Four consulting firms or investment banking, which I didn't really resonate with. So when I left uni, it felt very isolating. So it was really reassuring to see that some of the content that I was putting out was resonating with you. And now we're
100%.
Now we're best buds.
Exactly.
I
I know.
No, it's so good. With videography or being like a creative, as we like to label ourselves, I think sometimes, you're not necessarily exposed to it from the get-go. Like, what got you into it? You know, you said you liked taking street photography.
It's a very like traditional story. Everyone hears, oh, I picked up my dad's camera. I literally did pick up my dad's camera. Like, that was just the story of it. Like, my dad had an old Canon camera, and like I'd taken some photos like when we had been like on trips before, but that's not really where it sparked. It sparked, I think it was during, was it during COVID? I don't know, maybe. And I just like found the camera upstairs, and I just like went outside at night, and then I just like took a photo of like a rose with like the flash. And it's actually the very, very first post on my Instagram. If you scroll all the way down, like 800 posts, it's the first one. And I remember like looking at it and seeing the amount of detail that it had. Like the detail on the rose and everything. It's obviously, it's nothing like when you take an iPhone photo. It's that sort of detail that you get only with like a DSLR or like a mirrorless camera. And I was like, damn, like that is so cool.
Yeah.
And that's literally where it all started. And then like, I used to like skate in the city with my friends and stuff. So I usually bring my camera out to that and like take photos of them skating, or just when we were in the city, just being idiots, just doing whatever. So I just like, if you scroll down again, like there's a bunch of like random photos of like us just being stupid in the city. So like, it kind of just stemmed from that. And then from like taking photos of like skating, it kind of went to street photography. And then, it mixed in with like portraiture some like car photography as well. Because in Melbourne, there's quite a big like car scene, especially like for photo and video stuff. So did that, and then it kind of just went into predominantly like portraiture a lot of, and like landscapes a lot of. I kind of phased out of street photography, not because I mean like I did fall out of love with it, but it was not like, I still enjoyed doing it. Like anytime I go traveling, whether it be like Japan, like we were talking before, or like Europe or whatever, I always like will bring my camera out and do street photography because it's still like where I started. It's still like where I resonate best with. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Would you like to add anything?
No,
I feel like I'm
I
facilitating at the
love
moment.
this stuff.
I think with the camera stuff, you can definitely tell. I think that's why like the Canon G7X blew up, because people are like, oh my god, like my quality is so crisp now.
Yeah, literally.
Really? Is that kind of what I fell into the G7X I got one.
Yeah, but you're a trend hopper.
But that was before I had met you and camera, this features and all that. I was like, influencer, I need this, and then I bought it. But I got it at a really good price. So I got it at Facebook Market. And this guy didn't know why he was selling it. He'd never used it, but he was like, I don't understand why I got like 800 inquiries for it. You were just the first one that I just picked randomly to get it. He's like, do you know why it's so popular? And he was only charging me like $800 for it. Mind you, brand new, it was like 1.1K or something.
Oh, okay, damn,
or 1.2, I think.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know why. I just really love the features of the camera. Luke came with me to check make sure that the camera was like proper and shit. And then he's like, oh, I don't know why. And then I said, yeah, but anyway, here's the money. And then I just took it and left.
It's probably keeping
a
deal.
And
yeah,
it was just a hyped up camera.
It was.
For all the girlies. But yeah.
Now,
I love that though.
Ruben, obviously starting your own business you were 19.
Yep.
Turning 20 this year?
Next year.
Next year, wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
young. When he told me that, I was like, damn, these guys.
Are you 2006 then?
Yeah. February.
Same age as my brother.
Yeah. So not many 19-year-old, although I feel like through my feed now, everyone's like a business owner. And like, exactly. Like actually sort of in the eating shit phase, like starting things, getting the ball rolling and that sort of stuff. How's that journey been?
Yeah.
It's been good. I think there's a very like big notion of age equals like quality and experience, and like experience to a certain extent I can understand, because like obviously the more you've been doing something, the more experience you have with it. But like I've been using a camera for like 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
I have it, like I started very, very young when I was like 15, and I have garnered quite a bit of experience with it. And so like it's been good. I've had like a lot of people, like there's obviously like a lot of people who support it, and even some people that I've worked with, past clients and whatnot, they've been very like open to helping me regardless of my age. And that is like, you know, really, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
But there's obviously that side where people will judge you because you're younger or
Take advantage of
yeah.
you as well.
And that's definitely something I experienced when doing way like very, very commercial stuff. So not predominantly what I'm doing now. When I was back in the agency, I had, you know, when you're shooting, you know, people who are a lot more wealthy and they have maybe like a very expensive event or like, you know, these sort of like bougie establishments, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And you rock up, they book a photographer like through an agency, and a 16-year-old rocks up and you're like, you know, they're like, who is this kid? Like, you know, like we wanted like a photographer. And not like I just.
But do they actually recognize your age straight away, or do you tell them, or what's
Ruben
that?
looks quite young.
No. To be fair,
Like,
I reckon Ruben could pull off like 23, 24 more.
yeah, but when I was like, I guess that. But then like when I rock up and I was like 16. To like,
Yeah,
to
we're
like,
talking 4 or 5 years ago.
if I rock up to like I don't know what it would even be, like a work like 50th anniversary or something like that, where they have like a big event and there's like 400 guests, and I rock up as a photographer, and I don't look like super old.
I want to jump in on that, because I think there's this experience piece that I definitely experienced at the start of like my journey as well, where people judge you. But it's this weird paradox where obviously there's a need for it. There's a need for content. There's a need for social media. There's a need for these creative aspects. But then when, I don't know, you judge someone based on their age and stuff, I don't get it as well. Like you obviously want to have the best possible quality product, but what does age have to do with that as well? And I think,
Exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
It's hard. I think it's like really based on, I guess, the idea around the experience factor. I think obviously the older you are, the more experience in life or whatever it is that you've got. So that comes with maybe the skill that you're procuring or stuff. Obviously now in the day and age that we live in, it's becoming more common for things to, for people to pick up skills at a younger age because they're more passionate and more keen, and social media's got more information for people to see. Like you see now fashion designers who, there's a really famous one who's like 6 years old. Yeah. And he's creating crazy like fashion designers. So it's becoming more and more common now, but still I think there's definitely that stigma of age,
the older generation, hey?
But then that's where I think I just see that as an opportunity. Like if you're young, use that to your advantage, and if anything, create cool shit so that when you do put it out, they're like, wow, you're only this and you're creating this. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
Use
that's
that
definitely
to your
something that is like
advantage.
It's like, it's definitely an advantage. Like when you tell people, oh, I've done this, and they're like, how old are you? It's like, oh, I'm 18. It's like,
oh my
wow,
God.
okay,
Yeah,
so you're seriously
absolutely.
like, it's like a factor that will like grab people's attention a lot quicker.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think, so there's, in my mind, 2 routes that you can sort of go in terms of like proving or validating your experience in whatever field. It's either you go and do free shit.
Yeah.
And that's how you, like, it's a win-win, right? Like sometimes you go maybe to a cafe and you do like free stuff for them, you get free food. You also build your portfolio and the client's happy too, because it's low cost, low risk. There's not a big investment into it. Or the second one is, and now I've lost my second point. But the second one is, I think, oh my God, no, I've completely lost my second
Is
point.
it something like where you have to like do work for money?
It's like doing it for free, but then also, oh my God, I've completely lost my second point. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that. We're gonna skip past that.
No,
I'll get back to it.
The bonus and the pro to this, for I think maybe for like the age group, the age bracket that you're in, it's sort of like you're still at home.
Yeah.
Rent isn't due or per circumstances, but bills aren't due, whatever. So then you've got that freedom to be able to do the free content for the portfolio building. You've got that flexibility. I think it's a challenge for when people get older and let's say they quit their jobs and there's that rent pressure, that financial pressure. So doing free shoots can only be like sustainable for so long. So if anything, to me, I see it as like, I'm very optimistic, but I see it as like it's a great place to be at an age where you're like, I'm building 100%. This now. Because imagine when you're 25, you might even be way skilled more than someone who starts at 25 and has life experience but not camera experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Ruben knows more about the camera than me.
I don't think so.
No, I think he does.
I don't think so.
I reckon.
Maybe photo-wise. I think video-wise, you probably.
He was so stressed about buying a higher quality camera like an FX3 because he was like, I don't think I'm ready for that type of level. Like I thought I'd go for an A7
C2 because I wanted to do more hybrid,
popular.
like a photo video hybrid, but still similar sensor to like a ZV-E one.
Yeah,
and he reckons like an FX3 is too much of a jump, and I was like, you just got to do it. Like, who cares if you're not taking the next step, you're taking a leap. Like it's you got to do that stuff. And I was like, look at Ruben. Ruben's like smashing it out with the cinematography and all this type of stuff that's going on, and your angle video, your 7 different angle videos, that was so good. So, it doesn't matter.
100%. With that young piece as well, in terms of like navigating maybe with parents too, how was that journey? I think that's like a journey that maybe I resonate quite deeply with.
My parents have always been super, super supportive of like everything I did, which I'm very, very grateful for because I know that there'll definitely be parents who won't support that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want the best for me. They think they both think that uni is a very, very like good route to go down. And I try not to like talk badly on uni because I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that it works for some people. I think it helps people with like a life structure. I think people need that structure in their life because without it, they'll just won't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think it gives a lot of opportunities. It obviously depends what sort of career you want to do. If you want to go down a route where you need like a degree, then obviously, it's a smart choice. But I think when it comes to art, it's very, very like, it's a very gray area. It's like, it's very,
subjective.
Yeah, subjective in the way that it's like when I was in year 12, like doing like photography and media, it's hard for like the teachers to sort of mark art because it's, again, fully subjective to a certain extent. And so I found that a lot of the stuff that was marked was purely your expression of your art. So not specifically your art, but the way you talk about it and the way you express your ideas and maybe your journey to getting to the end result. So I think that when it comes to doing art in uni, I prefer, and I think I will get more value out of just putting myself out there and just, you know, taking action in the real world than going to uni and learning.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, yeah, I think I just get way more value from like actually.
I could probably
doing
speak to
it
that as
practically.
well. I feel
Yeah.
like particularly in the degree that I was in, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a prestigious degree. Like I'm at a prestigious uni, I know it all. And then they come into the workforce and they're like slapped in the face basically because you feel like you've garnered like the necessary skills that you need and then you know it all and then you're in the big wide world and everything. But yeah, unfortunately that's not the case. And I think actually getting your reps in the creative industry is going to be far more beneficial than actually like studying a degree or a course in it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you need like an editing course, like just bare bones, like YouTube is available.
Yeah,
There's
for
always
sure.
So many resources online,
many.
like
Yeah.
so many.
I think the capacity for information is like overflowing at the moment. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. And maybe, again, this ties to the older generation not really understanding or seeing that as well. But if you can, or it's almost like, can you articulate yourself and your value and your worth to prove that I'm not just this 16-year-old with a camera?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very similar in the terms of like, I see uni and like doing it by yourself very similar, except the only thing is like when you're not in uni, you have all the responsibility. So like people will say, oh, uni's great to go and meet friends, make connections in the industry, you know, network, yada, 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 which is true. Like it is important for that. But if you're not in uni and you want to make connections, you want to make friends, you want to make people, like when you get new clients, whatever it might be, you can still do that. You have the responsibility to go out and talk to people just like we met through content. Just like I've met other people through content. So, you know, you still have the option to do that. You just have to put it into practice.
So refreshing. I think that's so refreshing. Like actually taking that step forward and not having things handed on a platter to you.
Exactly.
And yeah, like I think particularly maybe you look back at high school friendships as well. Maybe you're just bound by the time that you spent together. And then but it's like how deep and meaningful are those friendships as well? Like how long would they last over time? Because you're bound by what the memories of high school, right? But I feel like I would much rather be surrounded by people who are passionate about the same things, are on a similar trajectory. It doesn't have to be the creative industry, but building towards something as well that they're deeply passionate about. Those are the types of people that I think both of us are very gravitated towards as well.
Yeah,
it's really important.
Love it. Well, you have started Creative Fin. Yes. Please tell us your journey into why you have built Creative Fin. What's the meaning behind it? The name,
everything.
All of the things. Yeah, we'd love to know.
How did it even start? I think I had been wanting to start my own business doing photo and video for like quite a while. And again, like I said before, year 12 was like jam-packed and I couldn't really do anything. I was like also really focused on like creating content on the side. So I was doing that while studying and whatnot. So I was pretty focused on that. And then I went traveling and I kind of had like a good break from content and from everything. I didn't post for like, I don't know, a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Which now looking back was like a long time. But, you know, I got back and I was like, if I want to do, like I want to have a project to work on. I feel like if I don't have something to like properly work on, I will struggle a lot in getting shit done.
Yeah.
And so when I had, you know, I took a gap year, I was like, let's make some use of this. And so I was like, let's just do what I've always wanted to do. Like I have skill using a camera. I've built up a decent amount of knowledge in social media through content and whatnot. Let's kind of combine that. And so when I originally like launched it, it wasn't actually Creative Fin. It was just like it was just Ruben. It wasn't even like a business yet. It was just like Ruben Fino, and it was just like a separate page where I was like offering to do
Content.
social media content, even just like one-off gigs and whatnot, freelancing pretty much.
Yeah.
And so then I had that for a while, and then I was like, maybe I should kind of like put a name to this and just like put a bit of like a brand around it. And I spent way too long thinking of like, oh, what name, you know, yeah. And I was talking to my dad about it, and I was like, oh, I should do like Fino Creates or whatever. And he was like, that's so tacky. Just like pick something and get on with it. Like, you're taking too long. So I just like, I was like, yeah, this is taking way too long. So I just, Creative Fin was just like, Fin is just like short, like Fino, which is my last name. And then I kind of look at it as like Creative Fin. Fin's also like another word for like the end. So it's like great until the end.
Yeah,
So,
like finito fin.
That's good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like did all that. And yeah, just kind of launched it. Like, it wasn't like a full blown, like, I'm launching this business. It was kind of just like a rebrand of the page I already had.
I think
okay.
to add on to that as
Interesting.
well, it's nice because my thing was filmed by Jadyn, which is just so tacky, and like I feel like I wanted to maybe stand for something that was more than just filmed by Jadyn as well. So it's nice. It's good reassurance and almost that little like motivation for you to be like, no, this is like working towards something that's like higher than myself.
Yeah.
As well, which I
Yeah.
think is so important. You sort of mentioned the idea of that goal setting piece. I wanted to touch on that too. I think, like you said, with uni, it adds structure, it adds sort of that end goal as well. But I think it's even more admirable when you can be self-disciplined and work towards something that you've set for yourself
100%.
as well, that is working towards something that you're passionate about,
Yeah.
that you want to work on as well. I think there should be more credit sort of push forward in that direction too. Because as cool as it is to have a degree and everything, like, you don't really see the extent to if it was just a P or if you did, I don't know, exceptionally well and that sort of stuff. Everyone just sort of walks out with that piece of paper.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think when you can work towards like tangible goals, that's when it gets
Something
exciting.
feels
Yeah.
more, meaningful.
100%.
Absolutely. You also mentioned you sort of had that internal dialogue about like having the skill with the camera and having, I guess, developed all those years of experience. What ultimately helped you get over this sort of imposter syndrome? Like when you walked into gigs and people were like, oh, it's just this 16-year-old.
I think it was just like having confidence in my skill. And I know that's very like broad, but in the terms of like, there's like a lot of situations that I've been put in when doing like gigs and whatnot, which are stressful.
Yeah.
Like when I was with my agency, I got flown out to Sydney to do a wedding when I was like 17. And I was like co-hosting 2 Sony events there. And that was like a really, really big step for me, like a really big step in what I was doing. And so it was kind of like, after I did those sort of things, or even after I started doing commercial work and, you know, I got feedback from even clients saying, you know, we love these photos, yada, yada, all that sort of stuff. It kind of gave me extra confidence to say, okay, like, apart from my age, I can actually do this. I can actually perform well in this. And like, I can deliver a good service. And so then like, that sort of helped a little bit. But then when I started doing bigger things, like the wedding in Sydney or all that sort of stuff, it really started to push me out even further. Where I garnered a lot of confidence in my skill with the camera.
Yeah.
But also like, I just am really comfortable with using it. Like it's like a third hand for me pretty much. Like I get really comfortable with using it. And yeah, it's kind of just repeated. Like it's like you were saying about when we were talking about uni, it's just like getting your reps in. Like obviously I didn't start like that. I started not knowing how to do anything with the camera. And over time I learned, I practiced stuff. I failed many, many times and I still am failing like all the time. But like I try to look at that stuff as like a learning opportunity, because if I were to just like look at a fail, like anytime I would have failed with a camera and then just like give up, then I would not be where I am now. So, you know, like I look at it as like a chance to grow. And anytime I am like put up with something that's like really daunting or really scary or uncomfortable or I might think is out of my reach or whatever, I'll still do it, because like I shock myself sometimes when I do stuff, like, because like I didn't, like sometimes I think like, oh, you know, let's be realistic here. You know, you're young, you know, sure you've had your experience, but like people who have done it for like 20 plus years know what they're doing. But it's like,
Do they really?
exactly, yeah. It's like,
Yeah, that's another thing too. Do
yeah,
they really?
so-
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
yeah, fake it till you make it.
Oh, that's so good.
Exactly. Yeah.
With the business, obviously, how has that been? I think the most common analogy for myself is there's a lot of people who are like into health and fitness, and they're like, oh my god, like I love this aspect of it. I want to become a PT. And then when they become a PT, it's more about actually like maybe psychologically managing clients, all the admin that goes behind it, the accounting and everything. How has your transition been, like obviously from agency to freelancing to now like being your own boss, being a business owner? What does that trajectory look like?
There's a lot more that goes into business than I realized. And obviously, like, I was naive thinking that, like, oh, I'll start a business, it'll be fine. I'll just, like, you know, say this, say that, get a couple clients, whatever. It's nothing like that. Like, obviously, when I was in my agency, I was, like, a contracted freelancer. So I wasn't, like, dealing, like, I did clienteling to a certain extent. So, like, it would be just, like, reading an email chain or whatever and just, like, doing some stuff like that. But it was never, like, outreaching or presenting prices and all that sort of stuff. So then when I went into doing my own stuff, freelancing, I was like, okay, there's a lot more that I have to deal with now. And like, sure, I can shoot the gigs, I can go and, you know, provide my service, but if I can't get anyone to want that service, then nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a whole nother branch that I had to learn. And luckily when I was with the agency, not only did I garner a lot of experience with commercial work, I also got a lot of info regarding running a business, which was really, really helpful. And so I've used a lot of that knowledge into like what I've been building lately with Creative Fin. And yeah, I think a lot of people disregard the business side of like creatives, because like it's almost like they only want to do the art part, which is fine because obviously like you want to be able to create by yourself. Like, but like I understand it because like it's true, and it's hard to balance business and creativity. It's really hard to balance. Yeah. But once you find that, like I haven't found it, but once you find that sweet spot where you are putting in effort like business wise, because obviously that's important, and trying to become a creative with that business is like pointless. And you know who says otherwise, then it's like you just won't really get that far unless you're, I don't know, who's a famous artist.
Genius, famous.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're like Andy Warhol or something. It's
there's
like
always like a team behind it or someone else that is.
Well, eventually you have to.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like trying to balance that is like the hardest thing, I reckon. And that's why when I left the agency I was with, it was mostly because I had lost like my actual passion for creating in general. So like I didn't ever like go out shooting for myself anymore. And it became like I was just working like a regular job, and I was like, not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But like I lost that passion for photography, and I was like, do I value my actual enjoyment of doing this over like getting paid for it? And so I was like, I went with my choice of, you know, I actually want to like enjoy what I'm doing. And if me doing these commercial events is diminishing that and sacrificing that, then I'm not going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's finding that balance, which is like really, really difficult.
Yeah, I feel you, because I was talking to a close mate of mine, Derek, about it, and we're in similar sort of trajectories or camps where he's doing an honours in economics at the University of Melbourne, and that's like something that he's just we like to say. We like to say
passionate.
there's a tism. There's a tism in the things that we do.
But we love it.
But we love it, exactly. So like he's tisming over, I don't know how like PC that is, like politically correct, but he's so obsessed with like economics. Yeah. And that's like been his thing for so long. And then for me, it's like I've been so obsessed with like meeting clients, like building a business, doing videography and those sorts of things, right? But we both felt that we're almost at that stage where we know that we're at that like burnout stage. Like he's in the midst of exams. I feel like we've had a very tumultuous month of everything. So I think maybe in the past I was very naive to think that, just because it's my passion, it's going to be like easy. It's going to be like,
yeah,
I'm going to love life every single day. But I think, people don't really see like the behind the scenes and all the things that do happen that you need to continue fueling this passion, this desire to grow something as well.
Yeah.
So, it's really interesting, really, really interesting. And it's like about finding those ways to sort of find and reignite that creative spark. And I guess that leads me to the question, how did you go about that? Was it as easy as stepping away from the agency work, or was it a bit of a struggle to find?
I think stepping away was like that first step that I needed to like that first scary step that I needed to like follow through with, to say, okay, like I have to actually like do this, or else I'm just never going to find enjoyment in what I'm doing again.
Yes.
And so that first step was usually the scariest, and it is with most things, you know. So I think after that, it was kind of like I took quite a bit of a break from everything creative in general. I was still creating content, but in terms of like photography, like street photography or whatever, I took quite a bit of a break. And I think it was, I don't know, I think I just needed a bit of a reset from it. I think I needed to just like recoup what I was doing. And at that time, I was really enjoying posting like reels and whatever. And so, yeah, I think, I don't know, burnout has always been something that's like I've never fully understood, because like obviously I've gotten burnt out before, but I don't know if it's like it's such a weird topic, because burnout is like, it happens to everyone obviously, but it's like you can't, like art is something that is very difficult to force. So when you're like, the whole notion of like being disciplined with whatever is, you know, is good in certain things like fitness or business or whatever. But I feel like it's different when it comes to art, because art is something that usually when you produce your best work comes naturally. It's, you know, ideated just through the flow of, you know, your mind or whatever. So it's like when you try to be disciplined and force stuff, it can become like, it can not really be your best art. And that's what I experienced with content like last year. Because I was like, I dedicated myself to posting every day, which I don't know why I ever did that, but like it was good. It was a good learning opportunity. It was a good learning opportunity. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna post every day, you know, like because you know I want to, you know, commit to it. And I got like, I don't know, 250 days in, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, like I like sure I'm being disciplined and I'm posting every day, and you know that's cool and all. But what I'm producing is just like nothing of like what I generally like. And like, it was like, I don't know, it'd be like half the videos would just be like me just trying to get something out there, because I had like this, I thought that I had this expectation that I needed to post something, that it was like a necessity. So that's when I think that the disciplinary like action kind of ruins your creativity. Whereas now, I still have the discipline to post, but it's not like there's no schedule to it. Like if I have no ideas, which never really happens, if I have no ideas, then I won't post anything because I'm not trying to force it.
Don't force the issue, hey?
Yeah.
Maybe you need a break.
When will I get that break is the question.
Well, no, I think it's like Jadyn felt like he definitely, because I came more into the picture as his partner and business partner as he kind of started the 100 days, even that you were doing the Emerge daily posting as well. And there were days I could see from him, just, I don't know what to post today, but I know I have to post today. You know, and you're like,
it's a scary thought.
And you get to a point.
It's a really scary thought.
And you're like, and you're trying to show up online authentically, but then you're also sitting there trying to question what to even post online, but it's meant to be authentic. So it's like very much you could see the pause and the thinking and the sort of like, what am I actually doing here? Mentality definitely coming in. And I think when you did your 100 days and you stopped it, I felt like that was really like at a good time, because it was like, okay, now I've got to put some concentration into control and travels and other projects that are happening, but you've like done the achievement. You're like, this is great, but now I can have it like a mini break. I'll call it a mini break, a break and center and go, actually, what do I want to do now and how do I want to do that? And that's when, again, like the YouTubing has now come into, like, maybe same with you as well, the YouTubing has now come into play and you're finding a more enjoyment into that.
It's like a sustainable rhythm that I can actually like attend to, because I think at the end of the day, now the habit is not, I need to post and edit something, because it's like, why would I put myself under that duress when I need to edit other people's content? That's also another topic when you're posting up daily and then your clients are also following you. They're like, where are my deliverables as well? It's just like, oh, fuck. But that's I think, at the end of the day, it's like, what have I recorded on the Osmo Pocket? Let's just export that and then chip away at it and start editing maybe in the back end of the week as well, so that the Sunday post is ready to go. Yeah, I think that's a more sustainable rhythm. And for sure, like when we started Control, I definitely missed podcasting. I missed talking to people, interacting with people, and having almost like weekly endeavor or weekly wrap up that you could sit down for, fork out an hour, 2 hours to each week and like have that uploaded, because it's like a little memoir as well. And I think the beauty of the creative industry is you can see from the get-go where you started to where you are now. And that's like an endless pursuit for like you getting better as well, because you can always be better. You're not going to end up having like a piece of art that you're like, oh my God, this is my best piece. Like, maybe this is my best piece of work or my favorite piece of work. But there's always, once you post that video, you're like, fuck, like I could have changed this, I could have changed that. And that's sort of what keeps you going as well. So I think the introduction of the podcast, the introduction of YouTube is now that creative reset or that break from client work that I need to keep it sustainable as well. Like, yes, there's edits I have to do, like a short form clip from these and stuff, but like it's fun. And it brings like the creativity back to it.
And I was very mindful of that, getting into Control, that making sure that Jadyn doesn't burn out, so to speak. Obviously there's going to be moments, nothing's perfect. Business always will have to push through, and for a business to grow, there's going to be moments of burnout and moments of like pressure. And that's, I guess it's a good sign that the business is growing and that there is an opportunity to hire someone, get a studio, to expand what we want to actually like see Control to be. But I was very careful with how that would also be for Jadyn. But I knew that he had stopped podcasting, and that was something that he loved, like from real deep, other than the burnout of the editing aspect of it, he loved because it was talking to people, meeting new people, hearing stories, and for him finding that relatability as well with people. And I think when he said to me, I want to do a Control podcast, I was like, yeah, that's your project. Like, I love that. I'll just let you take the reins on that. You do it. Because one, I've already got all the admin, accounting, invoicing, and everything else, client follow-up that I do. But it's something that fuels him and gets him excited. And then, having our audio engineer Isaac come along as well, it gets him even...
He's mid-selfie.
Gets him even more excited too, because it's like someone else is passionate about the project. It advances into being stuff like this, where we can actually set up things and have everything going in a much more elevated way from what it used to be with Life with Lamb. And so that gets him going, that gets him excited. He looks forward to the Friday mornings where he can have that creative breakaway from, and that's not me chasing his ass to get content done as well, because I know that needs to get done then. So in that sense, for him, that's sort of his break.
Yeah, I love
which
it.
is good.
I want to end on the segment as to why content is important for businesses as well. I think people know that it's important, but they're like, when they sometimes maybe see like a price tag or the effort that needs to go behind it, like what is that like, and how do you navigate that sort of conversation? It'd be a little bit of a difficult question, but I think it's an interesting segment to get into.
I think that for a business, a lot of people will choose a certain business not because of, not always because of the cost of their services or whatever, but more if they trust them. Obviously, like, business is a very trust-heavy game. So like the more you allow your future clients or customers or whoever, your audience and your community to trust you, then the better you are at, following through with building that business. So I think that content and content that doesn't like chase trends or whatever, content that's made to showcase the business's story, the business's why, I think it's really important, because that builds a stronger connection to a community, and in turn will just build more trust with those people, which again will go following through to them, you know, investing in your business, whichever way it might be. So I think that content done the right way, where it's, you know, fun and engaging and vulnerable at times and honest and open, is what's really going to make people invested. And obviously, like, showcasing the business's story is like your strongest point to go about, because it's theirs. You know, it's like when people talk about niches and whatnot, it's like your niche is your business. It's like your story. So like when you can showcase your story, and because it's yours, no one can replicate it, then that can really like build like connection and trust with people. And I think that's like a really powerful thing to do with content. And that's why it's really important, I think, for businesses. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Now we speak to that fully.
Yeah, we absolutely resonate with that message. For a business owner, how can they go about doing that? Whether it's booking a service or if they want to start their own content journey themselves.
If you're doing your own content, I think that it's a lot. Like, you're not going to be able to. I think your first like couple videos, or your first, I don't know, like my first like 100 videos were horrible when I look back at them, obviously. But like, you need to come to terms with that, because like, you're not going to start off perfect. You're not going to start off good. You're going to start off pretty bad, obviously. Just like you probably did when you started your business. So when you start content, you have to go in with the expectation that what you post, what you create, isn't going to be like 100% perfect.
Absolutely.
And it never will be 100% perfect. Like, I still think that posting content to like 85% is like good.
Yeah.
Because if you perfectionize over it, it's just never going to happen. So like, yeah, I think that if you can be like as honest and open and vulnerable in your content, it's going to resonate a lot more with people, especially on social media, because we know how fake it can be sometimes. And especially with the whole, all the gurus and whatnot, all that movement where, you know, making 10K a month now at 18 is like normal, which it isn't.
6-figure business.
It's like, so it's like when you like become really open about it, and like, even for my business, when I've spoken about, oh, you know, I made this mistake or this happened and I fucked up, then like, that's good, because people will look at that and say, okay, like, I've experienced that as well. They're not just like making me feel like, they're not like
talking down on you.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw a video from a restaurant and they were breaking down how much it takes to run a market stall, because everyone's like, oh, like market food's so expensive, but he fully like broke down every cost, like from staff wages to booking the stall to actually like the hours like put into it, to the production, like all the produce and everything and all that. Like, it was so interesting. And when you dive down deep, because they're not necessarily like showing you how to cook, but they're showing you all the behind the scenes and the value behind that for, firstly, other business owners in that same industry, so the hospitality industry, but also like to dispute the skepticism from like people walking across the market being like, oh, your food's so expensive. And it brings that like feel to, oh, well, we're supporting them as well. Like, the margin's actually very small. Exactly. So if we can pay that, like, we might as well to support them so that their food doesn't go to waste, or their money doesn't go to waste. So there's examples like that. But there's also another quote as well from James Smith, where he said, you're not making shit content. It's just to the best of your current ability.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's good.
I think it's a really good quote to allow people to maybe be a bit nicer to themselves, especially if their content isn't like necessarily polished or to the level that they see on their Instagram feeds, because there's a lot that goes behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Love it. I think
That was a great ending note.
happy to end it there.
There
Ruben, this is your chance to shine and do all the things that you need to do. I know currently you're offering like discovery calls and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll start there and then talk about your services a bit broader, but we want to give you the chance to obviously shout out your own services too.
Yeah, so I'm offering currently free one-on-one calls, just because I'm trying to get some market feedback on some stuff like that, and that's more to do with cinematic content. Like shooting cinematic footage in your content, so like whether it be filmmaking or color grading or lighting and editing and all that sort of stuff. And so I'm offering that on my Instagram, and then as well, Creative Fin, obviously, like still taking bookings, of course. And so, yeah, if you need content, then
Hit me up.
Can you describe what you offer as well? Maybe?
yeah. So I do. I do predominantly either monthly packages of like social media content, where I offer like videos, whether that be reels or TikToks, and as well as photos. I also have. I offer like productions, so whether it be like a campaign launch for your brand or whatever. So that's more like a project rather than like monthly stuff. And so I do those as well. So yeah.
Might actually flick you a DM that I got. So
yeah,
we'll talk off air. But
awesome.
We'll have Ruben's details, Insta, Creative Fin stuff all on the caption,
show notes,
all the notes there. So go check it out,
you very
please. And Ruben, thank you so much for coming on. We were
Thank
really
you for
first
having
guest
me.
on our
I know.
Control podcast.
I'm very, very honoured.
That is the permanent guest spot now.
over there.
So this
Right,
could
yeah.
be you. This is the Ruben Finn spot now. So, you know, if you ever are a guest on here, you are sitting exactly on this spot. But we really appreciate your time. So
No
thank
worries.
you so
Thank
much.
you very much for having me. Having me.
Having me.
That's okay. Isaac will fix that.
And,
God.
yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Done. Be sure to actually before we finish. Sorry, we've probably already clicked off the episode, but be sure to rate the show 5 stars and chuck us a follow so we
Better
can
rate
get
it 5 stars.
yes, get the Control
Better.
Pod up and out to the world.
Sweet.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.